Prigozhin.
On May 20th, 2023, at 12 o'clock today, Bakhmut was completely taken. The operation to capture Bakhmut, the Bakhmut meat grinder, lasted 224 days. I want to say thank you to the Russian people who supported us. Thank you to those fallen guys who died in this war, both the military and the fighters of Wagner PMC. Thanks to those who are now with us in the ranks. And to Vladimir Zelensky, when you see Biden, kiss him on the head and say hello from me.
From what Mr. Prigozhin, the head of the Wagner PMC group, has said, the city has fallen. He has a reputable track record in that he has never been caught exaggerating or lying about Wagner gains. We have heard from the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense claiming that no, it's all lies, that they still are in the city and that they are still keeping up the fight, though they have described the situation as critical. We must bear in mind, of course, that Ukraine has a history of denying evident losses, even as Russian journalists walked through streets that Kiev still claimed it controlled. Officials in Kiev would deny this. We saw this in Soledar. We saw this when Wagner entered Bakhmut and Ukraine still denied the obvious. We saw this when half the city had fallen, when Ukrainian troops had retreated behind the railway line that splits the city down the middle. And now we're hearing it again. We also, of course, have seen several videos, or a multitude of videos published by Ukrainian soldiers on social media saying that the city had fallen. Those began appearing towards this morning. The Russian Ministry of Defense hasn't yet confirmed the capture of Bakhmut itself, but from what we are told here by troops here, the announcement is imminent. This was perhaps the most brutal battle, or undeniably the most brutal battle of this conflict so far. Tens of thousands of Ukrainian troops lost, entire regiments, brigades shattered, having to be pulled out and reinforced, retrained with fresh mobilized conscripts. But the city itself, as I say, is completely devastated. Fortunately, there weren't many civilians left in the city as fighting raged through it. Those that chose to stay behind, we've seen videos of them being escorted out by Russian forces. As for PMC Wagner and the fight going forward, the city will be handed over to the Russian military on the 25th of May, so just in several days' time. The Wagner PMC group says that it is handing over control to the Russian military and pulling out to reinforce, re-equip, rest, and again return when the motherland, as Mr. Prigozhin said, when Russia and the Russian people need them again.
As Murat just mentioned in his report, Ukraine has rejected the claims that Wagner is in full control of the city. A political analyst, Alexander Pavich, believes Kiev will fear losing funding from Western partners.
They have problems admitting losses because really their entire war effort, much of that effort is also PR. PR is a key component of the war for them because they need to project this image in the West that they're going to win in the end, no matter how unrealistic it seems. And of course, obviously, the politicians in the West supporting them are totally out of their depths. It's a bitter pill. It's not just a loss per se. It's a loss of prestige. It's another drop of doubt in the minds of the Western public. Why are we supporting this? They just keep losing. So yeah, I can understand it, but you know, in the coming days, they won't be able to hide it. It'll be obvious, just like it was before. They denied other places being taken as well. Soledar, they had tough time admitting their losses in Mariupol, but in the end, reality wins out, and reality is going to win out, and it's going to be a long day once reality comes home to the Western mainstream media that's been pushing this whole false narrative that Ukraine has a chance in this war.